Some people might wonder, Flax, you're eating snacks all the time. How are your teeth? Do you have any cavities? Well, the answer is no. I've actually never had a cavity. Some of that is, I think, good genetics, fluoridated water growing up. But I also have a daily regimen of brushing, flossing, and rinsing with Listerine. Listerine, of course, classically comes in kind of a menthol-y flavor, and then usually comes in more of a mint. And there are various different mint flavors that Listerine has rolled out over the years. But if you're trying Listerine, that's pretty much the only flavor that you're going to get, is some variety of mint. Until now. Interesting. So yes, limited edition Listerine flavors. We have coconut and lime. And then we also have grapefruit rosé. So these are botanically inspired. And these are in the 0 alcohol Listerine line, so not as harsh. Although I don't know if these would have been as harsh anyway with the no mint flavor. But it's an interesting choice. I mean, for one thing, 95 to 99% of toothpastes, certainly for adults, are mint. So I think it's a little weird to rinse with coconut lime, but then brush your teeth with mint. I don't know how that's gonna play, but I'm willing to find out. So I'm gonna start with this one, I guess. This is the first one that I saw. So my local Target just had this one there's apparently a few of these flavors. And then in other countries, I did some Googling. In other countries, there's even more kind of these special fruit sort of Listerine flavors. It's like a cherry blossom and peach one that's in Singapore and the Philippines. But so in the US, the ones that I've seen are this one, grapefruit rosé, and there's also a green tea and mint, which I think is only available online. At least Target's website says that they don't have it in any of their stores. It's just online. I didn't really feel like chasing it down hardcore in any way. That one has mint, so big deal. That's too similar to regular Listerine to be worth doing a dumb episode like this. So, now see, one thing about this is, okay, there's no mint flavor, I guess, but there's still eucalyptol, thymol, menthol. So a lot of the things that really make this kind of mint-y are still in there. So I'll be curious to see what the coconut and lime kind of gets to really do in here. Flavor, that's all it really says. There's also sorbitol and sucralose in here, which I understand that these are, artificial sweeteners that do not promote tooth decay, as whatever Trident will tell you. And I mean, I think you probably need this to be a little sweet, right? But it's always a little odd. The same stuff that is theoretically in many, candy or snack products that you might consume is also in Listerine. Okay, big burst of coconut there. Well, let's see. Don't worry, I'm not gonna chug this. I'm gonna take a little nip, swish it around, and then I will walk away from the phone to go spit this out. But yeah, let's see. It's not bad. Maybe in part because I can't swallow it. I don't get like a crazy amount of flavor because it's not really hitting absolutely everywhere on my tongue because it's not going all the way back down. So you get kind of a mild coconut, a mild mint, and a mild lime. You sort of pick up kind of notes here and there, but nothing is like really overpowering. I mean, the mint isn't maybe mint, but kind of that mintiness, that sort of freshness from the eucalyptol and the menthol and everything. But so you kind of have this light coconut, light lime, just these little flavor notes. But it still leaves your mouth feeling fresh, so you're still ready to go brush your teeth with kind of a regular mint thing, and I don't think it's going to be a really obnoxious clash of flavors. So, you know, I mean, I was ready to think when I saw this, boy, this is super dumb, and I still think there's not a huge amount of reason for this to exist because what it's adding over regular Listerine is just tiny little notes of coconut and lime. But for what it sets out to do, I'm going to go ahead and say it actually does it pretty well. How about that? So perhaps the more intriguing one, grapefruit rosé, similar deal with the ingredients. You know, lime and mint do go together in like a mojito, right? So this, I mean, grapefruit and mint, you know, citrus and mint, I mean, like orange juice certainly is kind of famously like, oh, I brushed my teeth and then I drank orange juice, bleh, you know. So, I mean, grapefruit is obviously not the same as orange juice, and I think there are drinks out there that maybe have some mint with grapefruit, some like muddled mint, but let's see how this plays. I think this one is a little more likely to go off the rails of the two. I like the, you know, the designs on the packaging here. Kind of nice, you know, artistic citrus fruits and everything else. Good appeal, you know, if you see this in the, you know, dental products aisle, it catches your eye. Makes you want to buy it. I don't love the way that smells, but it is just the smell. Kind of floral. It's making me think of something. The floral plus the mint, plus kind of that little bit of the sort of the bitter citrus. Some sort of gum, maybe. But anyway, not that important. All right. Grapefruit rosé. Well, my mouth is officially extremely fresh. The grapefruit rosé is okay, I guess. I mean, I did have it second, and I suspect that its flavors are just a little subtler. So the way that I did this may not have been 100% fair to the grapefruit rosé flavor, but you know, again, it's kind of like, is it adding a lot here? While I was swishing, you know, I don't think it added a lot of flavor, little bit of florality, which I guess is perfectly fine. And, you know, there's some lingering kind of citrus sort of on the palate. But then if I go right into brushing my teeth, which I would typically use Listerine and then brush, I think that maybe is slightly more awkward than the coconut lime would have been. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's okay, I guess. I don't think it's worth going out of your way for. I mean, neither of these is worth going out of your way for. If your local store doesn't sell these, like, don't drive 20 miles to get some. But, you know, if you see them and you're curious, I think, you know, they're both okay. But given the choice, I certainly would prefer to get this one again, the coconut lime. I just feel like flavor-wise, it's doing a little more. I think it is less likely to clash with subsequent toothbrushing using minty toothpaste, which you almost certainly will be. You know, I think the grapefruit rosé, if you had it, you know, if you wanted to do like a quick kind of post-meal rinse and you don't want to do a full toothbrushing, like after lunch, right? Because you only really quote unquote need to brush your teeth a couple times a day, right? So morning and night. But let's say you want to brush after meals, but maybe you don't really feel like you have time. Obviously, the toothbrushing doesn't take that long, but you know, I don't want to brush my teeth 4 times a day. I'm gonna brush my teeth twice, and then, you know, after I eat lunch, maybe I want to kind of just rinse real quick. If you're doing that, I think the grapefruit rosé is probably going to be fine for something like that, just to kind of clean your mouth out. But if you're going to be using this with regular toothbrushing, so morning or night, I would go coconut lime if you're going to go with either of these. Realistically, is there any reason to get either of these other than sheer curiosity, as long as regular old mint Listerine is still out there? I mean, I would say no. I don't think that's surprising. It was pretty unlikely that either one of these was going to be so incredibly amazing that it's like, well, this is the only thing I'm ever going to use to rinse my mouth out from now on. And they're both apparently limited editions, so it's just as well, because I would only be disappointed, I guess, to determine that I wanted to use these forever and they just take them away. But yeah, I mean, look, this is a silly little thing that I'm taking more seriously than I need to. But yeah, these are fine products that are totally unnecessary. But again, of the two, I think this one is actually pretty solid. Grapefruit rosé, it's fine, but it's not for me. So that's it for this first and probably only episode of Flax on Plax. Regular snack service will resume with the next episode. So I'll be nice and fresh for that one, and I'll see you then.